In May, a machine did something no machine had done before. It broke a mathematics problem that had been open since 1946. Then 9 of the best mathematicians alive published a paper about it, not to check the proof, to translate it, because no human being could read what the machine had written. A year earlier, Sam Altman sat on a TED stage and was asked what was coming next. He didn't say chatbots, he didn't say code. Discovery, that was the promise. 40 minutes later, in the same conversation, he was asked why ChatGPT wasn't already general intelligence.
The thing that I'm personally most excited about is AI for science at this point. I think I am a big believer that the most important driver of the world and people's lives getting better and better is new scientific discovery. We can do more.
His answer contained one line worth holding on to.
It can't go discover new science and update its understanding and do that.
It can't discover new science. That was April 2025. Hold that date. To understand what happened next, you need to know about one man and one list. Paul Erdos published more mathematics papers than anyone in history. He had no house and no job. He traveled with a suitcase. He also left behind the problems he could not solve. He posted cash prizes for them, $10 for the easy ones, thousands for the hard ones. He died in 1996. The list did not. Around 1,100 of his problems are still sitting there, unsolved, cataloged, waiting. In May, an OpenAI model was pointed at one of the oldest ones on the shelf. The unit distance conjecture, posed in 1946. Here is the whole thing in plain English. Put a bunch of dots on a page. Count how many pairs of them sit exactly 1 centimeter apart. Erdos wanted to know the maximum. He guessed that a simple square grid was the best possible arrangement. 80 years. Every serious attempt failed. Nobody could prove the guess and nobody could break it. The machine broke it. Not by proving Erdos right, by building an arrangement of points he never imagined and showing his guess was wrong. Tim Gowers has a Fields Medal. That is the closest thing mathematics has to a Nobel Prize. When he first read the result, he thought the machine had proved the conjecture. He said he spent the evening adjusting his worldview. Then he learned it had disproved the conjecture instead. He called that a relief. A machine finding a counterexample felt survivable. A machine finding a proof did not. And then 9 mathematicians did something that had never been necessary before. They wrote a paper whose entire purpose was to explain the machine's argument to other humans. This is its opening line: human verified, OpenAI generated. 9 authors, and none of them are the one who found it. Google was not going to let that stand. Weeks later, DeepMind published its own answer. Their system solved 9 Open Erdos problems. 2 of them had been sitting there for 56 years, a few $100s each. Every one of them shipped with a Lean certificate. Lean is a proof checker. It walks every logical step and confirms it against the axioms, which means arguing with the result is not an option. You cannot say the machine made a mistake. It didn't. Then came August, and the number that ended up on every front page. OpenAI's next model, Astra. 10 open problems, $2,000 in compute. The first construction of something called a non-sophic group. A disproof of Kane's rigidity conjecture. 3 more Erdos problems gone. The man who maintains the Erdos catalog called it big news and said it mattered more than the May result did. So Altman was wrong. 16 months after he said it couldn't discover new science, it discovered new science. That is the story that ran. Here's the part that didn't. There is one person whose read on this matters more than anyone else's. Terence Tao is widely described as the best mathematician alive. He won the Fields Medal at 31. He has been using these tools himself, publicly, for 2 years. He is not a skeptic. He is the opposite, which is what makes his arithmetic uncomfortable.
It does seem so. I mean, there's still activity at the Erdos. Yeah, so 50 odd problems have been solved with AI assistance, which is great, but there's like 600 to go.
Right.
50 out of 1,100. That is real, and it is not a takeover. Then he explained which 50.
With the Erdos problems, almost all of the 50 problems that were solved by AIs were ones for which basically there was no literature. I mean, Erdos proposed the problem once or twice.
The problems that fell were the ones nobody had ever seriously attacked. Erdos wrote them down once. Nobody followed up. The answers were already sitting in the literature, in two separate pieces, in two fields that don't talk to each other. No human had ever put them together because no human had read both. Tao called that the median level of what these systems can do, and he meant it as a compliment. Then he gave a number I could not find in a single headline. He said, if you only look at the success stories, the ones that get broadcast, it looks amazing. Then he did the systematic study.
But whenever we do a systematic study, any given problem, an AI tool has a success rate of maybe 1 or 2%. It's just that they can apply a scale, and if you just pick the winners, it looks great. So
1 to 2% per problem. They buy scale, they run it thousands of times. Then somebody picks the winners. Go back to that $2,000 figure now and read it properly. It covers the runs that worked, not the ones that didn't. That is the cost of the publication. It is not the cost of the discovery. Nobody outside OpenAI knows what the second number is, and OpenAI chose which results to publish. Their own staff helped write up the papers. The company says the mathematics came from the model. None of that makes the result fake. The proofs are machine-checked. They are correct. It just makes the headline a different shape than the thing it described. Strip out the hype and strip out the deflation, and something harder is sitting underneath both. Tao spent part of a lecture this year describing the thing he is actually worried about. It is not the machine getting smarter.
Yeah, very, very close to a scenario in which a major result gets proved and verified, and no human can understand and explain it. So that will be a very...
A proof that is correct, verified, and unreadable. Lean will tell you every step is valid. Lean will never tell you why it works, which is exactly why 9 mathematicians spent their time rewriting a machine's argument into something a person could follow. That is a new job. The best mathematicians in the world working as translators. In July, a mathematician named Jun-Young Park published an essay arguing that this is a national security problem, and I don't think he's being dramatic. His argument is that the ability to check mathematics is infrastructure. It gets built over generations, by institutions, slowly. You cannot order more of it when you need it. And it is being funded less at exactly the moment machines started producing work that has to be checked. So did AI discover new science? It found real answers that no person had found, in a field where a machine can check its own homework, and only in that field. It did it at a 1 to 2% hit rate, at a volume no human can match, and someone selected the winners before you ever saw them. Altman said it couldn't, then it did. Both of those are true, and everything interesting lives in the gap between them. The thing worth watching isn't the machine getting better at finding answers. It's that we're producing fewer and fewer people who can tell it when it's wrong.